Hey guys, welcome to another Regular Dude Fishing video. It's raining outside, and since I have a bad habit of leaving a lot of my gear snagged up at the bottom of the river, I'm going to try my hand at making my own sinkers. I bought this sinker mold right here. This is a Do It sinker mold. This is for the no roll sinkers. I got it at a website called bottomdwellers.com, which sells catfishing rigs and hooks and so on and so forth. Bottomdwellers.com. No, they're not involved in this video in any way. This is where I got my stuff from. Yesterday I melted down a bunch of wheel weights excuse me, and made lead ingots. I melted it down, and then I used candle wax and fluxed it a couple of times. I'm not making super clean lead that I can make bullets or anything out of. I'm just wanting lead sinkers for now. So my friend MacGyver had this little melting pot here that helps you pour, more cleanly pour and cast bullets. And I've got my mold sitting on top of it warming up because that helps them to release from a hot mold. So I'm going to try to do this as safely as possible, as not to injure myself, which I most probably will by the time it's all said and done. So the mold is warm. These no roll sinkers have got a hole through the middle of them for your line to go through, and that's where these little copper rods come in. You put them in there. That way the lead will mold around them, and you can pull them out of your lead, and you'll have your hole for your line to go through. So you could probably use if you bend or destroy these copper rods, I'm pretty sure you'd be able to use like a clothes hanger. And I put them in there just to make sure that they're still able to move around, and that they're loose, and that they are in where they're supposed to be, so that we can make decent sinkers. And the mold will pretty much do the rest of the work for us. We've got our lead melted here now. And now I'm just going to try to gently pour into the mold and make a big giant mess. This makes 3, 4, and 5 ounce sinkers. And hopefully that will work. We'll let it set for a couple seconds, it says, according to the manufacturer's instructions. And we'll open up the mold and knock out our sinkers. Of course, when I had all that extra lead all over the top, I'm sure that doesn't help it not coming out of the mold. So while I'm getting these apart, I need to get some pliers. But I'll get some pliers and pull these out of the center of the lead. Probably do it with my welding gloves. And there's my hole. Trim off that other piece of the lead, the scrap. I'll put it back into my pot there. Woo, that was pretty cool. My little piece of ceramic tile just busted. And there's my 1 3-ounce lead. So, like I say, I need to go get some pliers and some nippers, and I'll clean these up, and we'll be right back with you here in a second. If you can, you want to try to leave a little bit of lead in your pot. Yes, I realize my lead is dirty, but if you leave a little bit of molten lead in there, that lead is really hot, and it helps the rest of the lead melt quicker so that you can continue on. And disclaimer, I am not an expert. This is the first time that I'm doing this, trying to save myself some money and the cost of making sinkers, or the cost of having to buy sinkers. I'm going to try to, making them versus having to buy them. I believe the mold was $29. Now I'm getting ready to do it again. Putting in my wire. And so far, it has been going fairly well. And I'm a big advocate of what one dude can do, another can do. And I am nothing special, by no means. And if I can do this, you guys can totally do it. Because it looks to me like this is going to work out pretty well. And sometimes these bigger sinkers, the 3-ounce and 4-ounce and 5-ounce, they can be 35 or 40 cents a piece. Oh, that one there I didn't do correctly. Looks like my mold is not in there correctly. So, it will happen sometimes. Yep, I didn't have my wire in the right place. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and bring these other ones out and then reset it. So far, the welding gloves have been working pretty well. I'm not burning myself and pulling out these copper rods, and then I can hold it. Yeah, it is very warm, so you have to be careful. And then I've just been twisting it off like that, cleaning it up, and it's been working out pretty well. Like I said, I'm not trying to have anything that looks pretty. I'm just trying to have functional sinkers that I can make out of myself. I got my, I have some friends that own a tire repair shop, and I can get their used wheel weights. The last one I got a 5-gallon bucket for $10. That whole bucket I got for $10, and it's going to make a lot of sinkers. So that is the plan, and at some point we may get good enough to where we can cast our own bullets, but we're not there yet. This is the first time that I've ever messed around with any kind of molten lead, and it can be a little intimidating when you first do it, because it is, you know, molten metal, and you're going to really be careful, and that's why I got the welding gloves on and the goggles. We definitely don't want anything moist laying around, because apparently moisture and molten hot metal do not play well together. So I'm going to take this opportunity to put some more lead in here and melt it down. And we're just going to continue to do this for a little while until we get a tray full of sinkers. Some of these, like this, we're just going to take our nippers, and when it gets really good and hard, and trim off the edges, and we'll recycle all that and remelt it. But we've got 3, 4, and 5 ounce molds, and that's what we're doing. And so far, I'm liking it. So far, it's been a pretty easy process to take a bucket of wheel weights, melt them down into ingots. I've seen dudes use muffin tin. My Uncle Buck gave me this little mold thing here, which is what I made these with. And now we're turning them into sinkers, and I'm liking how this is going. I mean, I feel like I can totally do this, man. Which means if I can totally do it, you guys can totally do it as well. $29 for the mold, $10 for the lead. Let's try this again. Melt it down, flux it, clean it up. There's a lot of videos on how to melt down wheel weights and make ingots. I didn't make one because it was the first time that I did it, and I am by no means anything close to an expert at this. I'm just a regular old dude who's trying to do it, and so far I'm doing it, and I'm happy with it. And it doesn't take very long, and then things set up enough to where you can open up your mold and pull out your sinkers. I watched one of my fishing heroes, Steve Douglas. He's one of my fishing heroes. He's just an all-around awesome dude, man. I watched him do this, make his own sinkers, and I was like, man, I wish I could do that. And I started looking into it a little bit more, and the molds were affordable. They was less than what I was thinking it was going to be, and the lead was a little less than what I was thinking it was going to be. And then all you need now is a little bit of time. So if you have a rainy day or an afternoon where you don't have a whole lot going on, you can use it and make something productive that's going to save you quite a bit of money in the long run. Over the course of the next few years, making my own sinkers is going to save me quite a bit of money, because I do a lot of catfishing on the bottom. And as the old timers say, when you're catfishing on the bottom of the river, if you're not getting snagged up and losing your gear, then you just ain't fishing deep enough. So I definitely fish deep enough, we'll say that. So now we'll put some more lead in, let it melt down. I'm sure there's a better process and better gear and easier ways to do this. This is just the stuff that I have available to me that we're using. And yes, I know my back porch is trashed. Don't give me a bunch of crap about it because it's lived in. So we're going to keep doing this, and we'll catch up with you guys here in a little bit and let you see some of our finished product. Well, there you have it, guys. Proof. Anybody can make their own sinkers and a mess. You just fill up the mold cavity with your lead. Let them set for a couple of seconds. Crack them open. Bust them out. They do get hot. Even with welding gloves on, you can feel the heat. So I've been using another pair of pliers to grasp the sinker and pull out the copper wire. Pinch off the end, and there we have a beautiful sinker. I have been at this for, I'd say, about 10 minutes, and only after 10 minutes I've got all those sinkers right there that'll last me a good long time, and I'm happy. And I just got a little bit more confidence in myself on things that I can do on my own. It's something that I've wanted to try. And now that I was able to get a mold, I know that I can make my own sinkers, and I won't feel so bad if I leave them laying in the bottom of the river snagged up on a log. So, man, like I said, just after a couple of minutes, we got a lot of sinkers going on here. 3, 4, and 5 ounce of the no-roll sinkers. These sit at the bottom of the river, and the water goes over them. And sometimes some of the water we fish in has got real fast current, and that's the reason that I like those. So, yep, I'm happy with it. I like it. If I can do this, you guys can totally do it. So give it a shot. Be careful. Make sure you read the instructions and do a little bit of research before you start doing it. And then have a ball. Save yourself some money on making your own sinkers. Thanks for watching. We'll make more next time. So until the next time, we'll catch you in the next video.
Fishing!